And we back, and we back, and we back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sauna IE. I'm your host, XO. If this is your first time listening, welcome to Sauna IE. Welcome to the show. Man, I just want to thank you for taking the time out to really tune into the episode, tune into today's episode, which is going to be covering mental detox. And I bet you're wondering, this is your first time listening, you're like, what is Sauna IE? Sanai is a personal development platform for millennials who struggle with their brain health as well as their financial health. Every episode, we drop tips, we drop knowledge, we drop tricks, we drop research, we drop statistics about different ways to advance our personal development when it comes to those two topics. And on today's episode, it's the beginning of May. So I'm like, how can we start May off on the right foot? And that would be having that mental detox. If the first 4 months of the year have been crazy, where you're like, man, I feel like I haven't had any mental clarity, well, this episode is for you. And usually, with every episode, I like to kick it off with some quotes of the day. And my first quote is, "One day at a time, one part at a time, we can accomplish any goal we set on ourselves." I think when we first start off, when it comes to goal setting, that the goal that we set may be big, maybe small, but we don't take the action steps to really create that goal and how we're going to manifest that goal and make that goal come true or come to fruition. So, whatever goal you set, it's May. You may have goals for this month. Set those goals out, write those goals down, and understand like, okay, I have my goals. What is my plan to accomplish these goals? And can these goals be accomplished within this month? Or do these goals need to be accomplished within the next 2 months? Or these goals need to be accomplished within this year? And understanding that we have to put the deadlines on our goals so it gives us a sense of urgency behind it. And maybe your goal for this month is to create and sustain a budget. Okay, so one thing you may want to do is check your bank statements for the last few months and understanding, okay, this is where my money's been going. Let me set a budget on myself so I know where I want my money to go instead of my money just flowing out freely without me having any knowledge of where it's going. So setting those goals and knowing that it's going to take one day at a time. It's taking it by inches. You're not going to get the whole thing built in one day. You're going to not sustain it in one day. You'll have setbacks and you'll have a comeback. So it's understanding that I got to take it one day at a time, one part at a time, and I can accomplish any goal that I set my mind to. And my second quote is, "Not every day is easy, but the opportunity to live them is still a blessing." We all have bad days, but every bad day teaches a lesson. And it's that we know that every bad day has a blessing within it, and understanding that, okay, yesterday may have been bad, but you still got to experience that bad and learn from that bad and understand like, yo, I can't carry that bad over into today, and knowing that today's going to be a better day and really telling yourself that like, okay, today's going to be a good day. I think some of us wake up and just go instead of, how do I want my day to go today? Do I want a good day? Do I want a great day? Do I want a positive day? Do I want a productive day? And really sitting there when you wake up, at least 5 to 10 minutes, that first 5 to 10 minutes when you wake up, visualize how you want your day to go and tell yourself like, yo, today's going to be a great day. And knowing that, okay, if the day isn't easy, I'm still built for this day to have a good day, to learn from this day, because every day has its own lessons and blessings. But once again, that quote is, not every day is easy, but the blessing to live them is. And this episode, the segment of the day, we're going to be discussing detoxing your mind. First day of May, and we have to get that clarity. I know, like for me, these last 4 months feel like a whirlwind, like they just straight blew by. So I'm like, all right, how can I get that mental detoxification? And I've been doing some research. So on this episode, I'm going to drop those tips. I know, like myself, have you been feeling like life has been a bit much where you're like, man, can I get a break? Can I just take some time off? Can I get a vacation and just chill for a whole month? Or have you been feeling like, maybe I need to detox? Maybe I need to set back from certain things that isn't giving me energy, the things that are draining me. And we have to understand that if there's a lot of stuff that's been draining you lately, then it's time to take a step back and understanding what's giving you energy and what's really draining your energy. and doing that self analysis or self evaluation and understanding. My first tip would be start unfollowing people who don't make you feel empowered, inspired, or informed. And this is a huge benefit because I feel like we just constantly just follow people, whether it's on social media, whether it's in life, and understanding like this, the people that I follow is really dictating my outcomes or dictating my energy, and I have to really be sure that I want to follow these people. You don't have to follow everybody on social media. When it comes to celebrities like that, especially if it's like people that aren't good for your mental health, we get stuck following people and not knowing, is this person good for me in the long run? We get caught up in the moment, we just follow them. And then we just consume their feeds, consume what they're doing. But is it really benefiting you, or is it hindering you? I had to learn this myself because I'm like, oh, let me follow this celebrity, let me follow that celebrity, let me follow this page, let me follow the shade room, whatever it may be. But understanding like, no, I got to step back and cultivate a positive environment for myself instead of just following people just to follow them. And cultivating that positive environment really helps when it comes to your self awareness, your self worth, your mental health, and understanding that everybody doesn't need to be followed. I can just consume their stuff in moderation, that I don't have to keep following them or keep consuming their information, and you'll feel more at peace. That's what happened with me. I cultivated a positive environment on my Instagram, on my TikTok, even my YouTube shorts. Everything that I consume is positive, uplifting, and things like that because that's the direction I'm heading. I don't need to be consuming any negative energy or having any toxic things in my aura. Number two would be remember the big picture. Write down a list of your long term goals. Call it your vision for your life. And check these out often. What are your long term goals? What do you want to be in the next 5 years? What do you want to be the next year, this time next year? What do you want to be the next 3 years? Write down your long term goals. And I know how it is. I wasn't a goal setter at first, but I've learned the power of setting goals, writing goals out, and really accomplishing those goals really boosts your mental health as well as your self confidence, your self awareness, your self worth, and believing all in yourself. And if you aren't the type to set goals, I think it's time to set them. Simply because goals really give you that direction in your life to where you're not just going day by day and just going through the rat race or just going through the cycles of life and not understanding where you're headed. You're just living day by day instead of having a purpose of where you're going and having a direction where you're going. To understand that, you have to be reviewing like, where do you want to be? What do you truly want for your life? Where do you want to go? What direction are you heading in? Do you want a new home? Do you want to have your own car? Do you want to own your own business? Do you want to be financially free? Do you want to get out of debt? Do you want to live a healthy lifestyle? Like, what is your long-term goal? So who you want to be in the next 5 years? And understanding, okay, this is what I want to be in the next 5 years, and this is what I have to do to get there. You have to reverse engineer from those 5 years to today and applying yourself on a daily basis to get it done. And when it comes to long-term goals too, knowing that I got to go by inches. I'm not going to get it all done in a day, but me doing the little things on a daily basis to build that big picture, build the puzzle up, put the puzzle pieces together will help you out in the long run. And reviewing your long-term goals daily, checking them out, saying, okay, am I still on the right path? Am I heading in the right direction? Do these people support my goals? And creating a plan and a vision for where you want to go in the long term. And number three would be starting to journal. Do you journal? I've been talking about this a lot lately, and I feel like journaling has been a great motivator for me to understanding myself, understanding the people around me, and understanding what I do, my habits, my traits, my triggers, my bad habits, everything, and just understanding who I am. Sometimes we need to get out of our own head. We think a lot. We have like 15,000 thoughts a day, good thoughts, bad thoughts, triggering thoughts, and understanding like maybe I need to write some of this stuff down because I do go through a lot mentally, and me writing it down gives me that mental clarity, and it feels like a load is being lifted off my shoulders. And if you aren't fond of journaling, then what I recommend is just starting one day at a time. Maybe you have to start off with a sentence like, today was a good day. The next day, like, today's a good day because, and then the next day, today's a good day because I did this, I did that, and really understanding that it's going to happen one day at a time, and just doing that repetition and it builds up, and eventually you'll probably start writing paragraphs. Or maybe you're like, I don't have time to write. Well, you have a phone, get out your voice memo and do daily entries into your voice memo where you can just talk about how your day was. And you're unloading that off into your phone and you going back to reading that later, like, oh, dang, I did have a bad day that day, but this happened within that day. And a lot of people you'll probably look up to, role models or mentors, whatever it may be, they journal. And it has tremendous benefits when you journal and really get that off your chest where you're not holding everything in. Because once you're holding everything in, that builds up stress within you. And nobody likes to be stressed out or feeling like they don't have life figured out or they don't even understand themselves. So, one of the things I recommend for a mental detox is journaling. Number four would be ask yourself these questions. Are there any dead relationships in your life that you're holding on to? What aspects of my life can I improve by removing these relationships and things that aren't working for me anymore? Asking yourself those two questions and understanding like some people aren't meant to go with us on our journey. You can have a ton of history with them, but sometimes the history of people leaves us to misery because we're like, oh, I've known so and so for 10 plus years, but y'all haven't been on the same level for 10 plus years. Maybe it's time for you to elevate and leave them there. It's like we can love people from a distance and still progress with our life. We don't have to always be around that same people, the same person all day long. We have to understand that some relationships have to expire. Some relationships have to go in order for me to grow. And understanding like there's probably some habits that you have to let go too, and really checking in with yourself. Understanding like it's the beginning of the month. What habits do I need to unlearn, and what do I need to learn this month to take me in the direction of my long term goals? Number five is acceptance is peace. No amount of anxiety will change your future. No amount of regret will change your past. Peace is found in acceptance. We all have regrets for our past, but we can't regret our past because our past shaped us into who we are today. We have to understand like the past is really a blessing and a lesson within itself. I have to learn from the mistakes that I made in the past, the things that I've done in the past, the people that I've had in the past that I've held on to for too long, and learning that I accept my past for what it is. I'll review my past and take those notes that I need to take from the past and learn from today and continue moving forward. And being anxious about the future, like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. No. Take it one day at a time. One day at a time, but still be focused on where you're going, knowing that I have to accept my past and accept what my future is. You're creating your future in the present. So understanding like I can't be anxious about my future because I know where I'm headed and I know what I have to do to get there. But let me just work on being present here today and accept the past for what it is and the future for what it's going to be. Number six, disconnect from social media. Social media can be a source of stress and anxiety. We all know it. Take a break from it. Prioritize connecting with people in real life. Taking that break. I recommend at least one day a week where you're just not having a social media free day. Me personally, that day is Sundays. I love Sundays. I get that clarity where I spend that time with myself, be alone, and don't need to be on social media like that. To where I understand like social media isn't everything. Understanding that real life is everything. Connecting with the people that's in your life, your family, your friends, coworkers, whatever it may be. Utilizing one day out the week to where you're focusing on yourself and what you need. But those are the six tips to have that mental detox within yourself. I'll read them backwards. Disconnect from social media. Acceptance is peace. Understanding that you have to ask yourself these certain questions. Are there any dead end relationships in your life that you're holding on to? What aspects of your life can you improve by removing things that no longer serve you? Number three was starting to journal. Getting to journaling. Journaling will help you out and give you so much clarification, and it's a huge mental detoxification. Number two was remember the big picture. Write down your long term goals. What do you want to accomplish? And dream big. When it comes to your long term goals, don't limit yourself. Don't cap yourself. You can have anything that you want. It's all about your imagination and really change your mindset and knowing that I can have any lifestyle that I want to, but I'll have to put in the work. I'll have to put in a plan to make it happen. And number one was start unfollowing. Unfollowing those people who's not benefiting you, who's not helping you out to where you want to be, who you want to become. And always thinking about what will my future self be doing right now? Will my future self be following these people? And if not, unfollow them. You don't need to keep those people around you. But those are the tips to give you that mental detox. Happy May, Money May, Mental Health May, whatever it may be. Mental Health Mondays, Money Making Mondays, all that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Share the show, subscribe, review. To my first time listeners, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day for listening. And all my long term listeners, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all have a great week. We'll be back again on Friday. And let me leave y'all with this. You can't control the waves, but you can learn how to surf. And we out. Thank y'all for tuning in to Sana I E. Peace.